Hello, my name's Claire Pyer. I'm a counsellor and a psychotherapist. The reason I became a counsellor is I'd had experience of my life, which I'm sure all of us had, of not being heard and misunderstood sometimes. And I know the power and value of really being heard and listened to. I think we often ask lots of opinions from other people, and sometimes we tend to neglect our own. So for me, when I discovered counselling, it offered a place and a space for me to look through those feelings, for me to really search within and find what works for me. And when I could do that, I could create a space that meant I could keep the outside views and concerns of others from the room, and I could really listen to my own and figure out the best way to move forward for me.
I'm Andy McPherson. I'm a volunteer counsellor for Norfolk and Waveney Mine's low-cost counselling service. I've been volunteering for 2 years, and I see around 5 clients a week. What is counselling to me? A safe space to really be heard, really be understood, and give yourself the time to work through whatever you're facing in life.
What counselling can do for you is to be really heard, to be truly heard and valued as a person. Because our difficult emotions, as much as we want and wish them to, don't disappear. And for me, my belief is that we can pull them out from the dark places that we've stuffed them in and bring them into the light a little bit. And once we do that, we can show those difficult emotions and complex emotions some understanding, some kindness, some compassion and some love. And in doing that to our emotions, we're also doing that for ourselves.
The really important myths to discount are counselling is not advice giving. I'm certainly no expert in living, and so I don't sit there and provide advice or respond to questions that I can't possibly know the answer to. Counselling is also not a place where people are evaluating whether you've done something right or whether you've done something wrong. It's also not about fixing things straight away. There's no solution straight away, I would say, and often the answers, if they came to us that quickly, we would be fine, and we would have already found the solution. Counselling is more about giving time and the space for deeper thought, deeper reflection, and it's really about hearing back your own voice and working out, is that what I want? Is that what I believe? What is the change I want to make with someone who you can trust?
What counselling should never be is a space where you feel ridiculed or judged. Any thought, feeling or emotion is valid. And if you have a moment of vulnerability or a moment that you're not sure of, that can be held within that room. And you won't be judged for it. You'll be able to really look at that feeling and use that space to hold yourself with it, with your counsellor and help and support from your counsellor, of course, to work through that, and work through those challenging emotions and hopefully come to an acceptance. And when I mean acceptance, I don't mean an acceptance of everything is fine and you're completely comfortable with the world, but an acceptance that these challenging thoughts and feelings are there. And that once we have those challenging thoughts and feelings, we can maybe work out ways to manage them. And that these ups and downs of life are part of life and living.
I think what people can get from counselling is a sense of being unstuck and the chance to work out what they want to try and change in their life, and to put that in practice with someone who can be alongside them in what that impact that change has. Change can be a scary thing, and we don't necessarily know what impact that's going to have in our lives. So counselling can allow someone to think about what they want to change, or what they want to try, and then also to sort of experiment with that and see what happens. Coming back to the same counsellor can give you confidence that you're making progress with whatever issue you're facing in your life.
Our own well-being is a challenge, and I'm no different. But to keep myself mindful. I am a big lover of nature. I will often, every day, because I have two lovely dogs that make me, whether I wish to or not, walk in nature, but really take the time to embrace it, to have even 10 seconds just listening to the wind in the trees, to notice a river, to notice something, and that no matter how difficult your life can feel, nature continues. And also there's a great comfort for me that it goes in cycles, that it rests as well as blooms, and so do we. We're not going to be on show all of the time. We're not always going to be highly energetic and highly functioning people, unfortunately. But we can also have those moments to rest, and when we're in our low moments, they're not bad. They're just moments of rest and pause and resetting. And once we've reset, we can show our best selves.
As a counsellor, it's essential to keep myself well, to keep myself as stable and as secure as possible, so I can really be there for my clients, and it's so I can really listen, really hear what's going on for them. And that doesn't mean life doesn't happen to me. It doesn't mean that I don't come across difficulties in my life, and surely I do create difficulties in my life too, but I need to put in place things that help me look after myself. So that might be exercise. It's often about working out what tools I have in my life that help me keep centred, the right connections, the right time on my own, eating well, and and I have my own therapist. So I take my problems and my issues to my own therapist. So there's some of the things I do to keep myself well.
The importance and benefit of counselling. I think one myth is that you need to come to counselling when you're in crisis, and you don't. You can use counselling as a form of self-care, because we all have complex and difficult emotions that we need some space and time to work through. And counselling allows that, and it allows you to really hear your own thoughts and feelings on something, and to work through them and make a decision that's the healthiest one for you. And so it is absolutely a form of self-care, and not just only for when you're in crisis.
If you're looking at this and you're thinking, maybe counselling's not for me, it could be daunting, I'm not sure I'm ready to face the difficulty that I'm having right now, I'd really encourage you to think you deserve it. You deserve that space. You deserve the kindness, the warmth, the generosity that you find in a counselling room. Someone who isn't going to judge you, someone who's just as human as you, but someone who is there on your side to take, whether they're profound steps or tiny little steps. You deserve that. So I would say that's a really important thing to bear in mind if you're thinking about coming to counselling.
I think maybe a common misconception is that there's a perfect time, and there's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time to come into counselling, or even sometimes when to leave it. And there is no concern or consideration that's too small. If that's a worry or concern for you, then that's big enough to come to counselling and seek some help and advice. You do not have to have counselling for months on end. It can be short-term counselling. Sometimes we have particular difficult moments or really hard decisions to make, and we'll just need a little bit of extra care and support to get through those moments. So counselling can be sourced and used for your benefit, but it does not need to be just for major incidences. It can be something that is niggling or concerning, because if that niggling concern is yours, you no longer need to hold it alone.
Counselling is different to a friendship. It's really it's not a friendship at all. It's a trusted, unique relationship that you don't find anywhere else. And if you're finding that your friends or your family can't help you with something, it's something you're hitting upon quite frequently, or patterns you're noticing, a counsellor can really help you look at those things, those experiences, without any agenda, except for helping you the way you want to be helped, the way you want to work on things.
If you'd like to access counselling, please contact our helpline, visit our website or contact the email below.